Hi, this is Catherine Newton from Relational Healing. I had a question from a viewer recently that I wanted to cover in today's video. So the viewer asked, how do you handle it when your parts get triggered by your own child's defiance? And that is such a good question because obviously so many trauma survivors have children and have struggles in their relationships with their children because of this. And so the question is, how do you stay big? I guess the way I would view the question is, how do you stay big when your own kids are triggering your parts because they're defiant? And my guess is most of the time we're going to get triggered into a fight response or, maybe a freeze response depending on people's trauma. But obviously the first thing is to have enough dual awareness where you don't overreact. Okay, you don't have that $100 reaction. You don't let that part run the show. And in order to do that, sometimes we need to take a time out as a parent. So take a time out. Number one, take a time out, just like you would with any relationship that was activating you. You would take a time out and you would try to get a handle on what part is triggered here. Why am I triggered? Why am I activated? What is it about what my child is doing that is scratching some kind of attachment wound or scratching some kind of past trauma that we've been through? And then we take care of that part. If that part is activated, we take care of that part by using, soothing language, soothing tone, providing grief support to that part, and then that part is healed. So this could take, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour. So we take our time and we wait until we are back to baseline, back in that optimal arousal zone, back to staying big, back in our wise adult mind before we engage with that child. Just an FYI, one of the things that I loved using with my son, and as a result did not get triggered a lot when he was growing up by his defiance, is I love the technique 1, 2, 3 magic. They have a video that is phenomenal. I have recommended it to so many parents when I was working with children. It's so helpful because what it does is it allows you to maintain control without screaming and yelling. So it really is a phenomenal, easy to use, easy to understand technique. And you can look it up on YouTube, 1, 2, 3 magic for parents. And that is something that you can really learn quickly and start to use quickly. So yes, we do get activated by our kids. Our parts get activated by our kids. If we have unhealed trauma, it's going to come out. And you know what? There's going to be times when we do overreact. This is the best thing to do when you overreact. You may overreact several times before you figure out how to manage the flashback, the emotional flashback, and the age regression. And what we do is we go to that child and we say, hey, Mom was not okay. The way I behaved wasn't okay. Something came up for me. Depending on the child's age, you may or may not get into parts and, activation and all of that. But it's really important to mend the bridge, to repair that rupture. And that makes all the difference in the world because that gives the child an opportunity to grieve. And then everybody's okay. And we can go back and play. So I hope that's helpful, and I hope that answered your question, viewer. And I look forward to seeing you guys again in my next video for relational healing. Thanks, and God bless.